But first, let's start off because it's draft week. We could get a big trade ahead of the draft. It sure seems like where there's smoke, there's fire. It does appear that J.Brown has worn out his welcome in Philadelphia. ESPN was reporting that the Eagles are open to trading Brown, and it could be potentially to New England. New England now considered likely, and Schefter says that they will be engaging them. Now, also keep in mind, when a story like this comes out, it could be to get other teams involved in a potential A.J. Brown trade, so we will see if he ends up going to New England, but it does appear he's on the way out in Philadelphia. At least that's my opinion. Meanwhile, on the way out, that's not the case for Trent Williams. He wanted a new contract to stay in San Francisco, and he got it. He has made the Pro Bowl, folks, 12 different times. He gets a 2-year, $50 million contract extension, so he will still play left tackle and block for Brock Purdy this upcoming season. Also, Dexter Lawrence is on the move. He is headed from New York to Cincinnati, and the Giants now have a couple of picks inside the top 10. Good move for both teams. The Bengals get picks. They'll get to replace Trey Hendrickson, and the Giants will try and get better for it next season. Meanwhile, a shocking result in Game 1 of the 7-game series in the Eastern Conference. The 1 seed goes down in Game 1. How about that? The Orlando Magic, on the brink of elimination in the play-in, beat the Pistons 112-101. They were 8.5-point underdogs. They end up winning outright. Paolo Banchero had 23 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Cade Cunningham was back. He had 39 points, and yet the Pistons still lost. So how about Jamal Mosley on the verge of potentially maybe being fired by the Magic, picking up a Game 1 win, and loved the fact that his team played hard and got the upset?
Like most about your team's performance tonight, and how did they do it?
Yeah, I really, the competitive spirit that these guys showed to start the game, being able to battle through runs, but just down the stretch, being able to have a level of poise, knowing when things weren't always going to go our way. They went on their runs, and our guys did a very good job of coming together, communicating the things that they saw, both offensively and defensively. That's a big portion of it for me, is when we communicate at this high level and understand exactly what everybody's trying to accomplish on both sides of the ball. I think this team can be pretty good.
Coming out, giving up a 35-point quarter, that's not typical for us. I felt like we were just chasing them all night. We made some runs to get ourselves back in the ball game. Defensively, I didn't think we were our best. Critical, errors, mistakes that they made us pay for. Getting back to the use of playing at NBA speed, I think, got us a little bit tonight.
Pistons will play the Magic again tomorrow. Probably an important game, I would say, for them in the 7-game series. Meanwhile, the San Antonio Spurs, in Game 1 of their series with the Blazers, had no problem at all. They win and cover the 12.5. Wemby had 35 points, most by a Spurs player in a debut playoff game since Tim Duncan's 32 points in 98, with Duncan sitting on the sideline along with David Robinson in that game. Denny Avdija had 30 points in a losing effort. Scoot Henderson had 18, but Wemby, heck of a debut, you would say, in the playoffs. Here he is on it.
Yeah, I mean, it is obviously different, but we've been really good in the regular season, so we had no reason to act differently or do anything different. In terms of tactics, the sport aspect of it is different because we have more time to prepare, and we're going to have to play it 4 times in a row, but that's it.
Well, first off, we got the first game out the way. Everybody got their first game, first playoff jitters out the way. Honestly, in the first couple minutes, it felt like, but I feel like something that we learned is every possession matters. We kind of knew that, but going into this game, we knew that it's a possession game in the playoffs, so we just got to realize that in the midst of the battle.
Meanwhile, other games in the first round of the NBA playoffs, mostly blowouts. The Celtics beat the 76ers 123-91, Tatum 25, Brown 26. They take a 1-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. Certainly, Joe Mazzulla expected a win, and he says they got it.
I mean, It just seemed like you guys took care of business from the beginning. What brings that mentality on? Is that built culture?
I mean, it's two things. I mean, one, we have to, we have to have an understanding of. I thought we got off to a good start in the series, and two, it really doesn't matter anymore because in 48 hours we got to do it again, and you expect a better version of both. We have to expect a better version of both our opponent and ourselves. So, I think the maturity and like you're saying, the maturity, the competitive character of our guys to stick to the process of winning and give us a shot every night is consistent. I thought we had a good week of practice. I thought we got off to a good start. But that's just the beginning of a long series, and we got to be ready to take that on.
Not getting off to a great start on
offensively, getting in some foul trouble with both bigs, et cetera. So the first quarter obviously was moving past us pretty quick, and we just didn't do enough, at either end to get in, to settle into the game. I thought from the second quarter to about midway through the third, we finally got ourselves underneath us a little bit and played, pretty good basketball. But the minutes around that was absolutely unacceptable.
It would appear if Philly doesn't get back Joel Embiid, at least for those home games coming up, they don't probably stand much of a chance. Same could be said for the Phoenix Suns. My gosh, they got 17.5 points yesterday. It wasn't enough. Expect them to be 20-point dogs in a playoff game coming up potentially tomorrow night. The Thunder beat them 119-84, an absolute blowout. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 25 points, said they set the tone early.
Just a big win for you guys after a week off. Is it important to sort of set that tone early, kind of in a long postseason run to get the first one like tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. It is very important. Like when in the playoffs over a run, like when you have a chance to win games, you need to win games. Being the 1 seed, both of our opponents the last 2 years have come off playing, so they're a little bit more tired. That's probably has something to do with it. But we still have to do our job, go out there and win. Now, this team's going to get better throughout the series. It's who they are. It's who they've been all year. They have really good players, well coached, play really hard, play the right way. So we have to be ready to get better as well and expect a better team on the other end. They're going to be better for the rest of the series. They're not going to be like tonight.
So how important are these next, say, 48 hours to get ready for a game 2 after a loss like this?
Yeah, I think we have obviously some things to learn from. We have some film, definitely different than the regular season matchups. We're both majority healthy, so spend these next few days breaking down film and see where we can be better.
All right, San Antonio, of course, looks like potentially them and Oklahoma City may be in the end. We'll see if this plays out over the course of the Western Conference playoffs. Now let's get to Major League Baseball. If you're a Mets fan, I'm sorry. It's been a rough run for you. They've lost 11 games in a row. They led 1-0 in the ninth. The Cubs came back to tie and then won it in extra innings. Former Met Michael Conforto had the game-tying double off Devin Williams. And right now, the job security of the manager, Carlos Mendoza, has come into question. Here is Francisco Lindor on that.
Mentioned it's going to get loud. A lot of that talk is going to be around Carlos Mendoza. I mean, what would you say about how the job the manager has done with you guys?
He's done a fantastic job. This is not on him. This is not on him. He has make sure everybody here is prepared. Every coach here is prepared, and we have the information. It comes down on us. Mendy's our guy. He's our leader. He's in control, and he's done a tremendous job. We just haven't executed. It would be unfair to put everything on him because at the end of the day, he has gotten the ship in the right direction. We just have to. The people are paddling. We got to paddle and execute.
Meanwhile, no team that has ever lost 12 games in a row has made baseball's postseason. We'll see if the Mets can finally get a win here coming up.